Hey everyone, welcome back to Me, Myself and Ifa. It's Ifa here, and before I start this video, I want to make two things very, very clear. I do not believe slavery was a choice, and I do not agree with anything Trump says, has said, will say, does, has done, will do, thinks, has thought, etc. I am very, very, very anti-Trump. However, I'm making this video because I believe it's important for people to formulate their own opinions, to look at the facts and look at different situations and formulate their own opinion and not go with what everyone is saying just because everyone's saying it. I also don't think there's anything wrong with someone who goes with what everyone's saying, but because they have thought about it and that is also what they're saying. So essentially, if you're not willing to disagree or agree with what I'm about to say, it's probably best that you go off the video, because I'm not just going to say what I want people to hear. I'm going to say what I've properly thought about and what I actually think. So firstly, I don't understand why people engage with Kanye like he thinks rationally, like he is a rational person. If you actually hear the guy talk, it's jumbled. It's literally jumbled. Like, I watched this Charlemagne interview, and Charlemagne will ask a question and Kanye will like go back 10 years in his head and think he's on track, but he's so clearly not. Like, Charlemagne will literally be like, what did you have for breakfast? And Kanye will say what he had for dinner 10 years ago, but in his head it's like that's linked. It's like he's not able to process things the way other people do. That's one thing, and that's just very clear from what he's done in the past. For example, the George Bush thing, the Taylor Swift thing, these are irrational acts. The only difference is that this time it was slavery. It's like this time he went too far, you know? This time it's like there's a line that you don't cross it, and he crossed it. And I completely agree, he definitely did cross the line. But I'm not gonna get outraged because it's like so ridiculous. Do you get what I mean? It's like so ridiculous. That's how I felt. Like, it's laughable. You know, if you're arguing with someone and they say something that's so stupid, you're gonna walk away from the argument, because if you engage in the argument, you're just wasting your time, you're wasting your energy, and actually the person who has said the dumb thing is winning by getting your reaction, by getting your outrage. And I understand that people are saying that, okay, well, he's someone that people look up to, he's someone who people look to be a voice. For me personally, I don't look to this guy to be my voice, and maybe that's why I wasn't so outraged, because I'm like, this guy doesn't speak for me. He's not speaking for me, because one day he's this way, one day he's that way. Like, he's constant in his inconstancy. So that's not someone I'm going to look up to be a voice. Someone who's that impulsive, etc. Also, someone who's not going to be a voice for me is someone who's as inarticulate, and it's very, very clear that he finds it difficult to express himself. Like, a lot of things he says, he'll have to backtrack. Even with the slavery thing, he said, obviously I don't think that. I'm not going to lie, there is truth in a lot of the things he says, or a lot of the things that he is trying to say, but he's not the person to say it because he lacks the intelligence or the rationale to say the things that he's trying to say. So things like free thought, very important, but his version of free thought, or what he thinks free thought is a bit messed up. Think about loving everyone and that hate can't solve the world. Again, a fact. But the way he shows that is by wearing a Make America Great Again, not thinking about the people that's going to hurt, not thinking about the consequences. He doesn't consider the consequences, he considers the actions. There have been other people who have tried to unite both sides, you know, both Trump and Black Lives Matter. You saw the Joyner Lucas video, and that was so much more powerful, that was so much more emphatic, because that's a person who actually knows how to kind of think. And so maybe gave us to people is a kind of a B-Tech version of the Joyner Lucas thing. But the point I'm making is that, you know, what he's saying about hearing other people's opinions, what he's saying about considering the other side, and what he's saying about showing love is all valid. He just doesn't have the intellect to say that. The reason why I didn't get outraged is because, I mean, I'm not telling everyone to watch the interview, because who really has the time? Like, it was an hour and 45 minutes, but I watched the interview, and I also think that he's dealing with something mentally. There was a lot of times where Charlie would ask him a question and he would pause, and you could properly see, like, properly see sensitivity there. And I also think that when it comes to mental health and celebrities, like, we definitely have double standards. I honestly think we have double standards, because I don't think that if someone around us was acting the way Kanye was, like as erratic as he acts or things that he says, I think that we would be like, okay, wait, there's definitely something going on there. and like be a bit more sensitive. It's our insensitivity and the insensitivity of the press that actually led to something like the breakdown. But often we have to wait for it to get to the worst case before we feel sympathy when it's celebrities. And even with like Britney Spears and Amanda Bynes, like I was thinking the other day about all these people who the press kind of like showcase their meltdown, and it's actually not okay. Like it's actually, if someone's going through something mentally, I think there's a time where you need to kind of take a step back. It was just very clear, like when he was screaming about liposuction, I was like, this guy does not look like someone who is, you know, completely okay. And what I'm not trying to say is that it justifies what he said. I don't think what he said can be justified, but I also don't think that he completely meant what he said. It was just so obviously stupid, like almost too stupid to get a reaction out of me. Public outrage is what he, like, it's like it fuels him, it's what he lives off. I'm not gonna give that. I hashtagging if slavery was a choice, which I personally thought was very messed up. I don't think anyone who was hashtagging that went through slavery, because if they did, I highly doubt that they would be hashtagging that. Being in the more fortunate place that we are, we're not where we need to be, again, but we're not where they are, we're not slaves, and so to be the ones to make a joke about that, I don't think is our place. I also think it's quite hypocritical to get at him for belittling slavery by also belittling slavery through that hashtag. I understand the whole Eminem 8 Mile way of thinking that, you know, by making fun of it to like take control of it, but it wasn't actually our thing to make fun of. Do you know what I mean? What we're dealing with now is what we're dealing with now, and it's not that. That's not what we're dealing with. So I personally didn't think it was our place to do that. The only reason I'm making this video, to be honest, is because I think it's important to showcase an alternative view. The way his mind works is why we get, you know, why we've gotten so many different catalogues of music from him. It's why we got the George Bush thing, it's why we got the Taylor Swift thing, like, it's why we've got what Kanye is. And I just think that this time it's like, it's gotten deeper, like post-breakdown, and I truly think he needs help, and I do hope that he gets the help he needs. But I don't think what's going to make it better is us getting angry every time he says something that's unorthodox, because all we're going to get is more of that, and all we're going to be getting is angry in turn, and fueling what we don't like, essentially. Agree to disagree, agree to agree, disagree to agree. I'm just stating my opinion. I don't expect everyone to agree with me. This is just what I think, this is what I feel, and this is my channel, so that's what I'm going to express. Thank you for watching, subscribe if you want, and all of that.